welcome to the What If Ask AI channel. On this channel, we ask multiple AI services what if questions. The what if questions was made back in my childhood when I was asked to put all my questions in a binder because my family was tired of me asking them all the questions I had in mind. Now, later in the future, I'm taking the questions I made from my childhood and asking the AI services the questions and reviewing and judging their responses. I hope you enjoy this channel. Hello, and welcome back to the What If Ask AI channel. And today we're going to be looking at this question. What if it snowed 20 feet in the summer? And our AI services for today are ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Perplexity, and Meta AI. So this first one is ChatGPT. Let's see what response it will give. Also a reminder, we're using these two questions that I asked from two friends of mine. And those are going to be used as examples just to give the AI services some kind of format that I'm looking for. So let's see what ChatGPT is going to respond with. Okay, so the answer for ChatGPT is that would be wild. I would imagine it would cause chaos, like roads being blocked and people having to shovel their way through huge snowbanks. Plus, if it was in a place where snow's rare in summer, the temperature would probably be way off. It could mess with the local ecosystem too, like plants and animals getting confused by the sudden cold. It might even be kind of fun to see giant snow forts or have impromptu snowball fights, but it would definitely be huge. It would definitely be a huge change to everyday life. Okay. I do like how it started out with this sentence that would be wild. I thought that was hilarious. Now let's see what Copilot will say. Okay, so Copilot, kind of following the format that my two friends gave. So, well, that would definitely be surprising, and I'd say you'd have quite a story to tell. Yep, I agree. And then let's see what Gemini says. Okay, so Gemini is giving a big response. I'm going to read it. That would be an absolutely surreal and historical event, like signaling a massive shift in global climate patterns. Beyond the initial shock of seeing snow during the warmest month of the year, here's a breakdown of what that scenario might look like. Immediate environmental impact, ecological shock. Most summer vegetation and crops would be crushed or killed instantly by the weight in the freezing temperatures. This would lead to significant agricultural failures and food supply chains. Structural damage. Most residential roofs are not designed to hold the weight of 20 feet of snow, which can weigh thousands of pounds per square foot. Widespread building collapses would be inevitable. The Great Melt. Once the summer heat returns to melt 20 feet of snow rapidly, the resulting runoff would be catastrophic, record-breaking flooding. Societal disruption. Total gridlock. Transportation would cease entirely. Snowplows are generally decommissioned or in storage during summer, and even then, standard equipment isn't built to handle a 20-foot accumulation. Power failures. The weight of the snow on power lines and trees would likely take down the electrical grid for weeks or months. Economic halt. Most businesses would be forced to close, and the cost of emergency response and infrastructure repair would be astronomical. The scientific mystery. Meteorologically, for this to happen in the summer, the atmospheric temperature would have to drop by 40 Fahrenheit to 70 Fahrenheit instantly. Scientists would likely look for a volcanic winter scenario or a massive shift in the jet stream to explain such a localized or global anomaly. It's a fascinating, if slightly terrifying scenario to imagine. Wow. So Gemini was very informative. So it gave me a lot to look at and the effects of it. So that was a lot. And then let's see what Perplexity has. Let's see. That would be wild. People would probably be shocked. And summer plans and beach trips and barbecues would suddenly turn into snowball fights and sledding instead. So yeah, Copilot and and Perplexity are kind of like on the same thing, because Copilot also said that would be wild. But let's go to Meta AI. That's a wild one. If it snowed 20 feet in the summer, I'd say that's a serious disruption to usual weather patterns. Summers are typically warm, so the snow would melt pretty quickly, causing massive flooding and potential chaos. Plus the ecosystem would be totally thrown off, affecting plants, animals, and human activities. Okay, so these are some good responses. So I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT. So I feel like all of them except for the Gemini one did say wild. Let's see, wild. Well, Copilot said surprising. Yeah, all of them. So 3 of them out of 5 of them said the word wild. Alright, so this is my opinion of which one responded the best. Or I'm going to go from the one that responded the worst, in my opinion, to the one that responded the best. So I'm going to say that the one that responded the worst is I'm probably going to have to go with Perplexity. Now, while it does have kind of like 2 sentences, and I think it has more than Copilot, it said that would be wild. People would probably be shocked, and summer plans like beach trips and barbecues would suddenly turn into snowball fights and sledding instead. Yeah, it just talks about like I guess the reaction of what people might do, but it doesn't really give anything else than that. Like it just says like, you know, in the summer this is usually what happens, and then it'll probably turn into winter activities. So that's why I'm giving this one a number 5. So Perplexity is at number 5. Now I'm gonna give Copilot number 4, and the one reason I will say is because it is short and sweet, and it did kind of follow the format that I had for the answers. Kind of like it was kind of like short, and it said, I'd say you would have quite a story to tell. Kind of like putting it back on me, saying like, if this happens, then you know, that's good for you, or it's, you know, you're the one that's gonna have to be the one witnessing this. I don't think any of the other ones really touched on that, so that's why I gave Copilot a 4 this time. And then from there, let me see this. Yeah, I would say Copilot, not Copilot, ChatGPT would probably be my number 3. And the reason I bring that up is because out of all the rest of them, so Meta AI and Google Gemini, it doesn't mention anything that would happen kind of like after the snow came. So if I said like it rained, it snowed 20 feet in the summer, both of the other ones, Gemini Meta AI mentioned that flooding would be a potential problem, and I'm not seeing here to where it talks about any flooding or any after effects of what would happen after it snowed 20 feet in the summer. So that's the reason I'm putting ChatGPT at 3. And then from there, I'm going to give Meta AI a 2 just because and the Meta AI had a good response, but Gemini, I would say it really was the most informative out of all 5 of the services. And then it talked about the potential flooding that would happen, and then it also talked about how the atmosphere would change, or how the atmosphere would have to kind of match up in accordingly in order for this to happen. So I'm gonna say that Google Gemini is my number 1 on this one. So to go back through, Perplexity was 5, Copilot was 4, ChatGPT was 3, Meta AI was 2, and Gemini was 1. So yeah, if you have your own comments, or if you think you have a different order than me, feel free to throw it in the comments. And again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.